So our media, especially Fox News, has a disgusting, raging war boner that they're flashing to the world. So what you're about to see here is, number one, disturbing. Number two, I am absolutely having flashbacks to 2002 and PTSD from this, because did they, just like that, they whipped into shape. As soon as it looked like, hey man, this might happen, Netanyahu might get his wish, Trump looks like he's on board for war, oh my God, it snapped right back into, sir, what an amazing leader you are. Just like when he attacked Syria in his first term and they said, this is the day Donald Trump really became president. You had Brian Williams talk, the beauty of our weapons as they take off from the ship. This is bombing a country. And they're like having orgasms on air about it. But this time, I got to be honest with you, it's even worse. Like I said, this is just like 2002. You can't find a dissenting voice on Fox. You can't find a dissenting voice on Fox News. And it's not like there aren't some somewhat dissenting voices in the MAGA movement. Sloppy Steve Bannon, Tucker Carlson, a handful of others. Like, you can, if you want to have the debate, you can, but no, it's just literally, yes, war, yes. Okay, so let me walk you through this here. Some of this stuff is going to make you want to put your nuts in a waffle iron, because just Orwellian nonsense. So here's Hugh Hewitt, one of the most boring men in America, and he's talking to Brian Kilmeade, and just pay close attention to his words here. Listen to what he says Trump should do, and then what that would make Trump. Watch.
For more on this, let's bring in Fox News contributor Hugh Hewitt. All right, first off, Hugh, before I get to what Democrats and Tom Massey are saying, do you think the president has decided already to strike Iran?
I hope so. I think all the signals indicate that his last meeting in the Situation Room was a confirming meeting that he will join Israel in striking at least Fordo, as well as any other parts of the nuclear program in Iran that cannot be reached by Israeli munitions. I believe the B-2s can get there. We also have sent the nuclear sniffing aircraft over there in the event that there's any release of radioactive material from Fordo after it's bombed. I hope he does. I think it will secure his place in history as a peacemaker.
This motherfucker just said, I really hope Trump is going to bomb Iran and bomb their nuclear facilities, because that would make him go down in history as a peacemaker. Literally, y'all, why am I even doing this show? Like, what am I even doing here? I try my fucking best every day to come out here and spit straight facts for y'all and give you guys information. Educate everybody about what's going on with politics. And this motherfucker is probably getting paid 6 figures a year to go on air and be, I love war, bomb Iran, and that would make you a peacemaker. Is this the requirement to get on TV? You got to say shit like that? There's not enough money in the world that would make me go on air and say he should bomb them, because that would be peace. Like, literally, war is peace. This is what he's saying. Literally, that's what he's saying. He's the most boring fucking man in America. Incredibly awkward. Nobody likes him. Nobody cares about what he has to say. And here he is, bombing a country is peaceful. And it's just, this is literally just another segment on Fox News. Just another segment. There's just some normal ass shit. And they guys, they're fucking dying, decrepit, boomer ass audience, drinking beer in their lazy boy recliner, eating pizza, yelling at their wife, and watching this. They're going, that's right. Yeah, I love that. By the way, it depends how you ask the question. So there's one poll that says only 16% of Americans want to go to war with Iran. Only 16%. That's super low. But when you ask the question like this, of Trump supporters, if you ask Trump supporters, should the U.S. bomb Iran if necessary? You know what that number skyrockets to? 72%. So, of course, Trump's going to go out there and say, it's necessary. We can't have the Mullahs get a nuke. It's necessary. And then, boom, the Republican base, 72% of them, or maybe even more, will say, yeah, war with Iran, of course. Because this is the shit that's being pumped into their brains 24/7. You got Hugh Hewitt sitting there wearing a tie and a suit, duping everybody at home in middle America watching this, the dying boomers. And, man, he wearing a suit, man. He probably legit, this guy. I know what he's talking about. Bombing Iran makes Trump peaceful. Yeah, man. Oh, my God, bro. Oh, my God. This country is just cooked. By the way, Fox News, can we just call it what it is? Fox News is a terrorist propaganda network. At this point, has there ever been a war they didn't get out the pom-poms for and cheer? I swear to God, bro, if Trump were to actually invade Greenland like he was threatening to do, they would be all in on that shit. They'd be like, yeah, go kill some people from Greenland. Go steal the land. Why not? Go take over Gaza. Go take over Panama. There are zero moral actors on that channel. Nobody has morality. Nobody has ethics. Nobody cares about anybody else. This is psychopathic shit. This is like if you gave ISIS a TV network. That's what this is. This is American ISIS is what we're watching here. Oh my God. Oh my God. And they're the number one name in news, in cable news. This is the slop that's being pumped into these fucking dying boomers' brains.
We also have sent the nuclear sniffing aircraft over there in the event.
Don't say sniffing. Just don't say sniffing.
If there's any release of radioactive material from Fordo after it's bombed. I hope he does. I think it will secure his place in history as a peacemaker, because after the nuclear program is dismantled, and he has said for 10 years they may not have a nuke. He said it last night. He said it 10 years ago when he came down the escalator. He's been consistent. They may not have a nuke. After it's destroyed, he'll go into the history books as a great peacemaker.
This is just like the dumb motherfuckers who said, oh, the Iraq war, bro, that'll be easy. We'll be in and out of there. They'll greet us as liberators. The war will pay for itself. The same shit was said about Iraq. The same fucking neocon, warmonger, imperialist assholes said the same shit about Iraq. What are you worried about, bro? We got to attack them. They're a threat. They're going to attack us. He has weapons of mass destruction. Literally all of that. Lie, 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 lie. It's not a big deal. We'll be in and out, bro. They'll greet us as liberators, bro. The war will pay for itself, bro. Oh, my God. How did we literally hop in a time machine and go back to 2002? So Lindsey Graham, the man who is... a lot of people question his sexuality, wonder if he's in the closet, but I think his sexuality is well known. He only gets horny for war. So here we go. He's on Fox News, and here's what he says.
Well, Senator, you do have opposition within your own party to all of this. Marjorie Taylor Greene posting this on X on Sunday.
You could put them in a phone booth. You could put them in a phone booth. Those Republicans who are opposed to supporting Israel against Iran, you could literally put in a phone booth.
I hate to say this, but Lindsey Graham is right. You know how many Republicans in Congress have signed up to try to block Trump going to war with Iran? You ready for this? 1. Thomas Massie. Marjorie Taylor Greene said some shit, but as of right now, she's yet to sign on to that bill. And it's been 2 days. She's yet to sign on to it. Now, maybe she will. I hope she will. But then that would bring the grand total of Republicans in Congress fighting back against Trump's war to 2. Bipartisan, bro. No, Lindsey's right. You could fit these motherfuckers in a phone booth. He's right about this.
Well, and phone books come in different sizes, too. There's
phone books. He said phone booth, dipshit.
Phone booth. I'm sorry, I thought you said a phone book.
Phone booth.
Well, phone booths are about the same size, although...
There's the average IQ of your fucking Fox News host. You know, there's a lot of people in a phone book. He said phone booth. Oh, my God.
You'd be hard-pressed to
I'm
find
not
one
worried
anywhere
about Republicans.
But
Republicans are with Israel.
Let me just see if I can...
Yeah, that's right. Republicans are with Israel because they take a colossal amount of AIPAC money, Israel lobby money. They are swimming in that shit. They love the corruption. They love it. They'll do whatever their donors ask them to, and what they want is war with Iran.
Marjorie Taylor Greene says anyone slobbering for the U.S. to become fully involved in the Israel-Iran war is not America First or MAGA. Wishing for murder of innocent people is disgusting. We are sick and tired of foreign wars, all of them. Yeah, take a look at this graphic. I don't know if you can see this graphic, Senator, but let me put this out there for the audience to see. It's believed that left to their own devices, without any kind of degradation, within 2 to 3 days, Iran could develop one weapon.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Look at their framing, dog. Look at their framing of this issue. Marjorie Taylor Greene says offensive wars are bad, and here's a scary chart about what Iran theoretically, possibly, maybe, hypothetically could do if they wanted to with a nuclear weapon. Are you fucking kidding me?
Within a month, they have 11 weapons. Within 5 months, they have 22 weapons. And a lot of people believe that a regime like the Iranian one, the more weapons you have, the more likely you are to use them.
I get. So Israel does a genocide for over a year, live streamed in 4K, carpet bombs innocent people, murders children, starves people, kills paramedics and UN workers, just the worst of the worst, like on par with literal Nazi shit. And the fear-mongering is that country, which also just waged an offensive attack against Iran, they're in the clear, but Iran is who we have to worry about, who they're not building a nuke, and even if they had a nuke, they wouldn't be using the nuke.
Yeah, I mean, I like Marjorie, but to be honest with you, she doesn't understand the threat, in my view. If you don't understand that Iran, a religious theocracy, religious Nazis, would use a nuclear weapon to kill all the Jews, you don't listen to what they say.
Oh, my God. You want to talk about a religious theocracy being violent? Remember when George W. Bush said, I invaded Iraq because of Gog and Magog in the Bible? You remember that? You remember how the ultra-Orthodox Israeli extremist settlers, how they say, God granted us this land, that's why we had to kick the Palestinians off it. You have Ben-Gvir and Smotrich, total fucking psychopaths. Total psychopaths steering Israeli policy. You have Mike Huckabee, who just sent Trump the creepiest message I've ever seen. Sir, you are chosen by God. God spared you in Butler, Pennsylvania to deliver end times. Yes. Yeah. All these people, Trump, it reportedly now Trump thinks I was saved by God. I was saved by God to bring about prophecy. Like, and you're talking about religious extremists. Iran has acted totally rationally every step of the way. It's Netanyahu that's wanted to overthrow them since the 1980s. Lying about their nuclear weapons program, begging the U.S. to go topple them. You have the nerve, and he has the nerve to say, Iran or the Nazis? Who's the country doing a genocide now, Israel or Iran? I'll wait.
They're a threat to us. They're a threat to the state of Israel. It is not in the world's interest to give this religious fanatic a nuclear weapon.
This motherfucker should be tarred and feathered, Lindsey Graham, because he was also dead wrong about everything involving the Iraq war. He's not done yet. Here we go.
Arabia would like to see the theocracy gone. Yes. I know the Emirates would, and many other Arab states as well.
He just said Saudi Arabia would like to see the theocracy gone. Of course, he means that in reference to Saudi Arabia would like to see Iran gone. But Saudi Arabia is a theocracy itself. Saudi Arabia, the principled moral actor of Saudi Arabia, would like to see theocracy gone, but not theirs. Iran's. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God.
But then there's the question of what happens if there is a power vacuum there? We saw all too well what happened in Iraq. We saw what happened in Afghanistan when the Taliban took over in literally a matter of hours. You've got competing factions as well who would vie to take over Iran. On the one side, you've got the Crown Prince, Reza Pahlavi, who would like to go in as an interim leader. The other side of that fence, you've got the NCRI, the National Council for Resistance in Iran, which used to be the MEK, which a lot of people in Iran say would be worse than the Ayatollah. So what steps into the vacuum if the regime falls?
Well, I think what will happen is the Iranian people will know freedom for the first time since 1979.
You have got to be kidding me. Hey, what about the actual practical real-world questions about overthrowing a government in a country with 90 million people? And his reaction is, have you thought about freedom much, bro? How did the freedom work out for the people of Libya when Gaddafi was sodomized with a bayonet and murdered, and then it became a failed state with open slave markets? How did that freedom taste? How's the freedom tasting in Syria, where Bashar al-Assad was ousted, and now a former al-Qaeda member runs the country? How's that freedom for you? How was the freedom in Iraq after Saddam Hussein was overthrown, and then ISIS broke the region and rose up? How's that free? Oh my God. This guy, he has immense power, and he's one of the most immoral people I've ever seen in my life.
Well, people probably asked that about Hitler in the 30s. What would happen in Germany if we took him out in the mid-30s? Well, I wish we had. Because we know what happened when they let him stay in power. And here's what I can say. Taking the Ayatollah's regime down is a good thing, not a bad thing. And I'm willing to risk what happens next because I know what's going to happen if they stay in power.
I'm willing to risk what happens next. Well, isn't that awesome? From your comfy fucking apartment in D.C. or your house in South Carolina, I'm sure it's your giant house with your pool in the backyard and your air conditioning. I'm willing to risk what happens to the people who live over there, who I don't care about. And he had the nerve to again invoke the Nazis, comparing Iran to the Nazi regime, when we all know the real comparison to the Nazis. Who are the modern day Nazis right now? This is not a difficult question. How many wars was Iran fighting? Donut, zero, zilch, nada. How many countries was Israel bombing before they also decided to offensively bomb Iran? Yemen, Lebanon, Gaza. Now they're taking over the West Bank as well. Syria. Five different bombing missions against 5 different countries. And one of them, at least one of them, is just an outright genocide. And you're going to compare Iran. They're the Nazis. They're the crazy. I can't, bro. I can't. All right. So here's Sean Hannity. Look at how deranged and demented and vile this is. Here's Sean Hannity and his classic overconfident, smug-ass, arrogant self. This is exactly what he did in the lead-up to the Iraq War, would say everything with total confidence and just be wrong about it and move on like nothing happened. Listen to what he lays out. Here are the options that we have moving forward. Ready? Watch this.
In order to prevent the mullahs from getting a nuclear weapon, this facility must be destroyed. Tonight, the way I see it, there are three options. One, Israel could use a tactical nuclear weapon to wipe out the site. They don't have bunker buster bombs. That would obviously be not only highly controversial, but come with massive risks to the region. It is not a good option. Option number two, Israel can send in a team of commandos on the ground, also very risky with a much lower chance of success. The third best option involves the United States of America, our military, which is equipped with these 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs capable of penetrating that mountain. Israel does not have this critical weapon in its arsenal, and they do not possess the large bombers that are capable of dropping an ordnance of that size. So now President Trump has a decision to make. Will he deliver the final blow to Iran's nuclear program?
So his options were, we could either nuke them, do a ground invasion, or have the U.S. bomb them. Again, his dying boomer audience, overweight with diabetes, sitting there smoking Marlboro Reds, watching this going, wow, man, that's a crazy list. I guess I'll take the U.S. bombing them. Like, this is what they do. This is how they manufacture consent. This is insane. Everybody needs to go read Noam Chomsky Manufacturing Consent right now. The spectrum of debate that they're allowing on this issue is preposterous. It's like, should we do a little bit of war or a lot of bit of war? Should we nuke them? Do a ground invasion or have the U.S. bomb them? Those are your options? What about they weren't building a nuke? They had no interest in a nuke. They were the ones who were willing to negotiate. Trump pulled out of the nuclear deal that was working with them, and Israel illegally and offensively attacked them, and they're the baddies, and we're the baddies. What about that as an option? What about they did nothing wrong? How about that as an option? That's not to say they're perfect domestically. That's not to say they're great with their social issues and how they govern their own country. No, they're a Shia Islamic theocracy. They have many problems. But let's not pretend like that's an actual reason to overthrow the country. Saudi Arabia is a theocracy and a dictatorship. They're a Sunni theocracy and dictatorship. They're one of our best buds. We support 73% of the world's dictatorships. Stop pretending like that. Oh, that's the, it's a moral stand to take them out. Fucking horseshit. They threaten Israeli hegemony in the region. That's why they're going after them. All right, but I'm not done. You ready for this? Oh my God, this is so disturbing what I'm about to show you right here. Because of the all-out war fever on Fox News, this led Trump, according to reports, to be more hawkish. Ready? But as the night wore on and the Israelis landed a spectacular series of precision strikes against Iranian military leaders and strategic sites, this was the first round of attacks, Mr. Trump began to change his mind about his public posture. When he woke on Friday morning, his favorite TV channel, Fox News, was broadcasting wall-to-wall imagery of what it was portraying as Israel's military genius, and Mr. Trump could not resist claiming some credit for himself. In phone calls with reporters, Mr. Trump began hinting that he had played a bigger behind-the-scenes role in the war than people realized. Privately, he told some confidants that he was now leaning toward a more serious escalation, going along with Israel's earlier request that the United States deliver powerful bunker-busting bombs to destroy Iran's nuclear facility at Fordo. So because Fox News was like, yes, war, yes, murder Iranian military and political officials and civilians, bomb the apartment building, yes! Because Fox News did that, Trump was like, oh, actually, I did everything and I'm going to do more. Now we're going to do regime change. Oh my fucking God. As Midas Touch says, wow, Trump rushed to take credit for Israel's strike on Iran and to escalate the U.S. role in the war because he likes the way it was covered on Fox News. But ladies and gentlemen, that's not the end of it. Because you would hope that, okay, Fox is doing what Fox does, of course. But at least we can counterbalance that with CNN and MSNBC, and they can be the sane, reasonable, rational ones, the voice in the room that says, hold on now, this is illegal, this is unconstitutional, there's no approval for it, Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon, Israel threw the first punch. You would hope that's the case. Instead, Trita Parsi says, I am happy CNN showed this. Israel's former defense minister, incidentally wanted by the ICC for war crimes, tell CNN that America has an obligation to enter Israel's war of aggression against Iran. An obligation. Here's what CNN is doing.
I believe that the United States of America and the President of the United States have an obligation to make sure that the region is going to a positive way, and that the world is free from Iran that possess nuclear weapon in the middle of the richest place in oil and gas in the world. This could be a disaster for the world. And I believe that the determination of the American president that have been shown recently will pave the way to America to enter into this very important operation. The President of the United States have the option to change the Middle East and influence the war and influence the world, not only the war, in order to do something that will create a better future for all of us.
Literally an Israeli war criminal who said that Gaza is full of human animals and we're doing a total siege on them. No food, no fuel, no water, no electricity for over 2 million people at the time. Blamed over 2 million people for the crime of about 30,000 Hamas members. This guy who's wanted for war crimes is welcomed on saying, you gotta go to war for us, bro. Go bomb them, bro. That's what we need, bro. That's like having a fucking Nazi on after committing Nazi atrocities to say, you should do more of our dirty work for us. You should do more of the mass killings. Oh my God, but I'm still not done. This is a Republican, is it Chris Sununu? I think it's Chris. He was asked about Tucker Carlson and Steve Bannon, who are tepidly against the war. Don't give Tucker and Sloppy Steve too much credit, because they do this thing where it's like, strategically, I disagree with it. It's not a moral case, it's not a principle case, it's not a legal case. Strategically, I disagree with it, but also Trump is right about everything, and the people around him are misleading him. It's chicken shit, right? That's all it is. And they're going to get fucking steamrolled by the neocons and the warmongers, the imperialists that make up the bulk, nearly all of top-level Republicans. But here you have a Republican being asked about them, and here's what his reaction is. And again, I can't stress this enough. This is what they're doing on CNN.
This is, I mean, we were just talking about peace, right? Like Trump, it feels like he's a little bit at war with himself, because he said all the time, I mean, he wants to be known as the peacemaker, the deal maker, the guy who ends wars.
But even that's not totally true, because half the time he said warmongering shit. He said we need to take out the families of terrorists, not just the terrorists, the families of terrorists. This is a guy who said on the campaign trail, Israel should attack Iran's nuclear facilities. So the idea, he pulled out of the Iran agreement in 2018. So the idea that he was purely wall-to-wall a peace message is just not true. He said both things, and people would listen and latch on to whichever thing they liked the most.
Here he finds himself defending another war.
Well, I don't think Trump's defending the war. Trump's defending Israel's actions, and within a week or two, he's going to try to find an off-ramp to bring it to peace. And as for Tucker and Steve Bannon, they do not define what the MAGA or the conservative base is. There's two idiot conspiracy theorists. The base, the MAGA base, the conservative base, believe me, they're all behind Trump, and that's it. He's the one that calls the shots on what kind of defines that MAGA base. And he's not trying to get us into a war. He's trying to get us out of that war. And yes, and he understands the political ramifications if it goes too long, if it doesn't work out. So that's why I think he's back in D.C. doing everything they can to kind of cut a deal to end this within a couple of years.
They're trying to cut a deal. They're trying to cut a deal. Oh my God. Oh my God. So Fox News is just war boner after war boner, just rank disgusting pro-war propaganda. And then you have CNN, and honestly, most of the time they're doing pro-war shit. They're having on Israeli spokespeople all the time to only give the Israeli perspective. And then, so you have All Out War Network, and then you have the other networks leaning pro-war but doing a little bit of both sides shit, right? And it's like, where are the voices just telling the truth? That Israel is the aggressor here, that Israel has illegal nuclear weapons that they won't let the IAEA regulate, that Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon, they weren't building a nuclear weapon. Even if they were building a nuclear weapon, the idea, the implication that they would just use it on Tel Aviv or on fucking New York is just total horseshit, right? This is the Iraq war all fucking over again, except it's worse, because we should have all learned the lessons. By the way, understand something, all of the people who were wrong about everything for the Iraq war, there were zero social consequences for them in the official political world. Ari Fleischer is still out there giving his opinion on shit. John Bolton is still out there giving his opinion. They bring these people on as experts when they were wrong about fucking everything in 2002. Politics is the only business where you could just be objectively, empirically proven wrong with every word out of your mouth, and they welcome you with open arms and take you seriously. It's absurd. It's absurd. And then you have people who are outsiders like myself. They wouldn't fucking let me on there to tell the truth, because they would spin it as, oh, you're defending terrorists or something, when they're the ones defending terrorists. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. So here we fucking go again. Here we go again. This is Fox News has gone full bloodthirsty, and you are not getting the sufficient pushback from CNN or MSNBC for that matter. And it's left to the assholes on YouTube like myself to try to fight back against this absolute tsunami of misinformation and horseshit. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.